Today we'll be talking about the band Heart. We're talking about the band Heart for today. So Heart is an American rock band formed in 1970 in Seattle, Washington. 1970. Steve Fossen bass guitar, Roger Fisher guitar, David Bilzer keyboard, and Jeff Johnson which is drums. He evolved from an existing band, White Heart. Since 1973, the vocalists of Heart, sisters Anne and Nancy, was born March 16, 1954. Heart's history is considered of three primary lineups. Heart found success when members moved to Canada, in part to avoid the draft, then to the U.S., and ultimately worldwide. Heart rose to fame in the mid-1970s with music influenced by hard rock and metal, as well as folk music. It's mostly a heavy metal band. I love it though. It's the best band ever. I'm a huge metal fan. I'm a huge metalhead. Band's popularity declined in the early 1980s. They began a successful comeback in 1985, continued to the mid-90s. Released several hard rock songs and ballads. Heart disbanded in 1998 and resuming performing in 2002. Summer 2019, Heart ended their accomplished 2016 breakup by launching their Love Alive tour. To date, Heart has sold over 35 million world records worldwide, including 22.5 million of album sales in the U.S. Placed top 10 albums on the Billboard 200, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2010s. Heart was ranked 57 on 100 Greatest Arts in 2006 and was listed as one of the top heavy metal vocalists by Hit Parader. 2013, Heart was inducted Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Man, that is cool. So they started in 1973, and then they're still going. Formation. In 1967, bassist Steve formed a band, The Army, along with Roger on guitar, Don on guitar, keyboards, on lead vocal, Ray on drums. Played for several years in Washington and Seattle, and they frequently played at a couple high schools, as well as in taverns and clubs and bars and stuff. 1969, lineup changed. Gary from Buffalo Clancy and from other bands. And when Nancy Wilson had stated when he did not report for duty, his home was raided and he slipped on a rear window and became a Vietnam War veteran. Mike crossed the line to visit family. By chance met Anne at a Hocus Pocus or White Heart. Went to Nancy when she and Michael found love and decided to follow Mike back to Canada. Steve finished his college education before he moved to Canada. Roger followed in late 1972 and early 1973. Anne, Brian Johnson, and John keyboard. The band Heart was originally formed. And sister Nancy joined in 1974. Soon became romantically involved with Roger. 1975 to 1976, commercial breakthrough. Group played a bunch of shows. They recorded a demo tape of session guitarist Howard Leese and Johnson had left by the time, and soon Leslie became a full-time member. Flicker produced the band's first 5 albums. Team recorded their debut albums Dreamboat Annie in in Can-based studio in Vancouver. Mike eventually joined Heart as a full-time drummer. Some of the Canadian investors was studio-backed company session for the album. The album was picked by Seagull and sold 30,000 copies in Canada in its first few months. Seagull soon released the albums in the US, who helped hit singles in 1976 like Crazy on You and Magic Man, which reached 35 to 9. Man, that's awesome. 1977 to 1979. I'm just gotta read like throughout, just not like just 1978, not just. So 1977, showing the bare shouldered Wilson sisters, Dreamboat Annie album cover. It was only our first time. It even was cited, the Wilsons in July 1978 interview with the Rolling Stones. And in 1980, they released Bebe Le Strange, like a cover of Unchained Melody and Led Zeppelin's Rockin' Around the Beatles' I'm Down. And The Heart was the first band to appear sold out concert headlined by Queen, 1982. Their next album, Private Audition, prior to the minor hit The Man Is Mine. In 1984, Anne recorded a duet with Mike Reno of Loverboy. The pop ballad Almost Paradise features in the movie Footloose. Oh, God, I hate that movie. I mean, I don't hate the movie, I hate the song Footloose. It really annoys me. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, no. The song reached 7 on the US pop charts and strongly influenced other songwriters to change their sound. Nancy cameo appearances in the film Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I love that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I love that movie. It features Nancy Wilson, and the teachers, and the actor that does the teacher on there is Lana Clarkson. That was Phil Spector's friend, but Phil Spector shot Lana Clarkson in the back, and sometime in the early 2000s. That's why Lana Clarkson died, which is really sad. And in 1980, going back to Heart music, 1990, Brigade, the band's 6th multi-platinum LP, the songs like Stranded and I Don't Want to Need You, All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You, and Wild Child. And in 1991, they did a version of You're the Voice. And then 2003, they played with Gilby Clarke, ex-Guns N' Roses member. And then in 2016, they inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They did a cover of Led Zeppelin in their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2013. And on the morning of August 27, 2016, Anne's husband, Dean Welder, was arrested and subsequently pleaded guilty to assaulting Nancy's 6-year-old twin sons after the boys had left the door to the RV open. Incident took place at a Heart performance at White River Amphitheater in Washington the previous night. The Wilson sisters only spoke to one another for the parties of the tour. The pair's relationship was stranded in the incident as April 2017. Rolling Stones reported that almost they remained on terms. They had not spoken to one another since 2016 tour ended. and only particularly content one. Okay, that's awful. That's awful. And you know that like some people out in public are like has like a bad life, and they start abusing people, and like I think they have like heavy depression, and that's how they can do to like to like to like to like explain stuff like with abuse. Like I think they have like depression, I think, and they don't know how to like talk about stuff. I think that's why like some like people in public do like abusive stuff to their friends or their partners and stuff because they had a bad life. So yeah, when you see those kind of strangers out in public, just ignore them. Just don't listen to them because they're assholes. So yeah, don't listen to those kind of people. I remember back at Owl, there was this so back when I was at Owl, so Open World Learning, which was my middle school, so that was like when I was in 2016, so I was 15 years old. I remember that there was like, I don't know, like a 7th grader that liked bullying people. I don't remember his name. I remember his name, but I mean, I don't want to say any names because because if that person is watching this video right now, I'll get mad. But anyway, there was a student back in my middle school that was a bully. So yeah, I'm not gonna say any names. Anyway, back to Heart's music. Heart music crosses multiple genres as folk rock, classic AOR, rock tracks, and adult contemporary charts. Man, that's so cool. The legacy, man, grunge, hard rock, like include bands like Band Animal Studios, include Neil Young, R.E.M., Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains. Man, that's so cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like, maybe subscribe, and rock on.